Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is GTEX and my name is Gifty. So in the previous video, I made an hour intro of the Python language, but we didn't go deeper into each topic. So this video, the series of videos that you'll be seeing on the channel now is about going deeper into each topic so that we can have enough knowledge to start building projects. So I'm really excited and I'm looking forward to that. So let's get straight into our first video, which is about variables. We are going to touch on everything that has to do with variables and how variables, the rules that around variables in the Python language. So let's get straight into it. So let's begin with what a variable is. Let's begin with a definition of it. So a variable is a name that represents a storage location in memory. So let's say age 25. So this is the name of the variable, and this is the value that it is referencing. So here, age is a variable referencing the value 25. And why are variables important? Because they allow us to store, modify, and reuse data in programs. Okay, so in Python, unlike many other programming languages, variables don't store values directly, but they reference memory locations. So for example, if we create a variable called, let's say, temperature, right? So let's say temperature is supposed to, let's just say 35 degrees. Okay, so this variable, the variable temperature, right, is referencing the value 35. And mind you, in Python, variables are case sensitive. Let me just write this down so that you can have it in your note. Case sensitive. And what does that mean? Writing this variable, temperature, with a capital letter, let's say equals to 24 degrees, is not the same as this temperature. So in fact, let's print both of them to see the difference. So let's say temperature, and then let's create another print statement for the other temperature. Okay, now we come here and then we add Python, and then the name of the file, app.py. So let's run that. You see that they hold different values, or they are referencing rather different values. So if you misspell temperature, like instead of writing temperature with a smaller letter and you write it with a bigger letter, well, you get an error because Python is case sensitive. So apart from that, there are other rules we need to follow in Python. So let me just write that here: rules for naming variables. Okay, we can keep it this way. All right, so variables in Python can only contain letters from A to Z, digits from 0 to 9, and underscores. Okay, so it cannot start with a digit, so you cannot do this. You cannot do, I don't know, variable. You cannot do this. This is not accepted. You can start your variable name with a digit. Okay, and you cannot use any of the keywords. And when we say keyword, we are talking about, for example, like you can't call your variable if, because if is a reserved word in Python. It's a keyword in Python. You can't call your variable while, because this is for the while loop. You can't call your variable def because this is for a function. This is what you write when you want to, like, let's say my function. Okay, so this is not accepted. This is not what you this is not how you write your variables. And you can start your variable, of course, with class. And there are so many keywords that I'll provide you a link in the description so you can have a look at all the keywords in Python and which ones to avoid when writing your variable names. But as you continue using Python, you will get used to it. So let me just write the rules down here as well. So it can only contain letters. Okay, letters, it be it small letters or capital letters, it doesn't matter, but it should just be letters and digits. Okay, but the digits have to like be like in the middle or somewhere of your variables, and we'll give example of that right now. Digits. So let's say from 0 to 9, yeah, and then maybe, yeah, the underscores as well. So underscores as well. Okay, so these are the only ways you can write your variables. And an example of that would be, let's say, let's write a variable name, gross pay, and maybe I don't know, for some reason you want to like put a number there, but that is okay. This is okay because the digit is not like beginning, yeah, your variable name. It's not beginning your variable name. And maybe you would want to like use an underscore, all right, like this, and you can say my variable, all right. So this is accepted. This is totally okay. My variable maybe is equals to, let's just write my name, Gifty, okay. So these stuff are very important to know. And the naming convention in Python, what is a naming convention? You'll see that in a minute. So you could write your Python, the styles in which you could write your variables, okay? We call that naming conventions, okay? And it could be either snake casing. Snake casing means like you write all your letters like this, for example, like this, yeah? So you have like small letters and you have an underscore in the middle, and then maybe if you want to like add another, I don't know, word, you can, yeah, continue adding underscores and just writing it this way. Okay, so this is snake casing. All right, this is referred to as snake casing if you declare your variable or if you write your variables in this way. Let's just give this a comment here, snake casing. All right, and then if you want to write it in this way as well, maybe gross pay, this is also totally okay, right? This is referred to as camel case. So it's kind of like they're kind of like referring to it as camel case because you see like the back of the camel is like a slope, so it goes up and down, up and down. Yeah, so that kind of thing, right? So these are the ways you can write your variables in Python. Okay, either camel case or snake case. But any other way is not a convention in Python. Okay, so the next thing I need you to know is how to display your variables. Okay, display variables. All right, so we can display, let's create another variable called room, and then we say 101. And for us to print it, we have different ways. We could just use the print statement or the print function and do this. I am staying in a room, and then a comma, and then we're like a room, right? This is a way of displaying our variables with text. When it comes to variables, we can reassign them. And I mean, there are other ways of displaying your variables as well, and we'll touch more on that. But this is a very simple way to display your variables. It's automatically separated with space, like it gives it a space. So let's try displaying this. Let's print it. Let's just run the whole thing again. We can just do this. So it's, you see, it gives it a 9 space here. Okay. So another thing I would want you to know in Python, when it comes to Python variables, is about how to reassign the variables to new values. Okay, so you can give your variables new values. So let's just say I create a variable called euros, and then I'm like euros is equal to maybe 34 comma 5. Okay, so I could say, I could just print this and I'm like, let's see, what should we write? Okay, so I have, let's just say I have ears, and then, yeah, in my purse. So I have 34.5 cents in my purse, okay? But I could just maybe, let's say someone miraculously gives me like extra money. I could just add that whatever they gave me to my ears, right? And increase the value to, let's just say, 100 ears. So I could, let me just take this. So let me just paste this here. I have in my purse. Yeah. Okay, so now this is reassigning. We don't have to do anything special. This is just like we just have to change the values, and that is how you reassign, right? That's how you reassign, sorry, to a new value. Okay, so we had this variable and then we just change the value. Yeah, and let's go ahead and print it and see. So as you see, so first I have 34.5 cents in my purse, and then I have 100 euros in my purse. I could even go ahead and write euros here. Yeah, euros to make it more good looking. So let's just run that again. So you see, I have 34 euros in my purse. I have 34.5 cents euros in my purse, and then I have 100 euros in my purse. Okay, so when it comes to like the data types of variables, data types, when it comes to data types of your variables in Python, well, Python assigns a data type automatically when you assign a value to a variable. Okay, so depending on the value you give your variable, automatically it's a data type is being assigned to it. All right, so Python does that for you. So let's say like we did, let's say my sister's age. Let's just say like that. All right, my sister's age. Let me just say 29. Okay, so my sister's age is 29. Let's just say that for now. My sister, and this automatically Python makes it an integer for me. So because there's an integer, so the data type given to this variable, or the data type this variable is referencing, the value it's referencing has a data type of integer. So now this variable is an int. All right, and how can we check that? We can do type. Let's just do this print, and then the type, print type of my sister's age. Okay, so we can run that and see. Yeah, so it says it's an integer. So let's just say for some reason I put this in quotes instead of just, so now this is now a string. So this should tell me that it's a string now. Okay. So yeah, you see the type changed, and that is being done behind the scenes by Python automatically. All right. Let's just say she's not, let's say my sister is not 30 yet, so let's just say she's 30 and a half or something. Yeah, or 29 and a half, sorry. So what type is it going to print now? This should give me a float. Yeah, so it's a float. Okay, and let's just say I create another variable. Let's just say, okay, let me just assign this to true so we can see the type that it will give me, right? This should give me a boolean because the value is now a bool. Yeah. So that is how data types and data types are being assigned to our variables behind the scenes in Python. Yeah. So, and you know, in Python, you could do some type conversion, right? We spoke about it in the other video. In the first video I made of, like the intro video I made of Python. But if you've not watched that, well, in Python, you can convert the type of your data of your variables. Okay, so let's say I have this, let's say my baby's age, I don't know, baby's age, let's just say baby age there, and then I'm like, baby's age is 4. Okay, for some reason I put it in quotes, so this should give me, this is now a string because it has quotes, right? But for some reason I could convert this, I could convert this variable into an integer. And how do I do that? Because I would want to like maybe do some calculations, you know, with the variable. So the best thing would be to like convert the string value, all right, the string value that it had, I'll convert it into an integer. So let's print that. Print, type, and then yeah, baby baby age. So let's do that twice. Let's print it first, and then let's print it when it's a string, and let's print it when it becomes an integer. All right, so let's do that. So yeah, so first it was, let's see, yeah, first it was a string, and then it became an integer. Okay, yeah. So in Python as well, we have something called constants. Yeah, so constants, let's say you have a variable that is not going to be changed in your program. So we refer to this as constants, okay? And these, you know, like let's say for example pi, something like pi, right? The value of pi shouldn't change because it has a consistent value, right? So this is a constant in Python, for example. This value shouldn't change. Or maybe you have a variable called mass score. Okay, you can write it, and it should be written in capital letters. You can see that it's even like different from the other variables. It looks different from the other variables because Python knows that, hey, this person typed all their variables in capital letters, so it must be a constant, right? So yeah, these ones are constant, they shouldn't change. Good. All right, another thing I would want you to know in Python are also f strings. All right, for formatting. So f strings allow you to like embed variables directly inside the string. And how do you do that? So let's create a variable called, for example, sorry, let me go back to small letters and call a variable called Mary. And maybe Mary is, we can say Mary's age. Mary's age is 25, and we would want to print it. So if we print it with an F string, this is how it should look. We have an F to begin with, and then we have like the double quotes, and then we say my name is, and then we need to put in here we need to put in here like the curly braces, and then we'll say, okay, yeah, we'll say my name is name. That is to like put in the variable with the value referring to the value Mary. So you see it in a minute how that will be looking. Yeah, and then we can say, oh sorry, it was Mary's age. Good. And then we'll say years old. So let's go ahead and, sorry, I don't have an assignment sign here. Okay, good. Let's run that. So it says, my name is Mary and I am 25 years old. You could also do this with string concatenation. We also spoke about it briefly in the intro video. So I'm just gonna go ahead and change it. How do you do that with string concatenation? So you just remove the F, remove the curly braces like that, and then let's see. So this is what we're going to do. My name is, and then quote, and then we put a plus sign, and then another plus sign here, and then we do this. Remove this as well. We put a plus sign for the other variable. What was the other variable? Mary's. Yeah, there's a mess now, but you see it in the second. Okay. Okay. Did I miss anything? Okay, yeah. All right. So this one, right? This is what we refer to as a string concatenation. And I remember saying in the other video that it's not my favorite way of doing things. So because we have to be the ones thinking about the spacing and all that, and I don't really like it. But there are times where you would need to like use your string concatenation. Okay, so this one is an F string. Let me just make it, write a comment here. F string, F strings, yeah, formatting, and then here we have the string concatenation. Right. So this is where we like, this is another way of embedding our variables into like phrases, okay, into text. Right. So let's see what that would look like. Oh, oh yeah, because we also have to like, yeah, for string concatenation, we also have to like have these as a string, yeah. So we'll do, yeah. So that's it. Like we see that it says, like it's the same phrase. All right, my name is Mary and I'm 25 years old. Yeah. So that is string, this string concatenation, and this is string formatting. Just want to touch on the fact that when we had this guy here as an integer, right? It, and we run it, it gave us an error. It gave us an error because it says these errors are very important. And as a Python developer or as a developer in general, there are many times where you see errors and you have to understand them. All right, so it's saying that can only concatenate string, not int to string, of course, because if you have like an integer and you have like a plus sign, it is expecting you to have like maybe another integer so it can do some form of mathematical operation. So if you want to like keep this as an integer and still use like concatenation, well, that is very possible. But for me, I recommend the F string formatting, okay, because then it helps you do things in an easy way without having to like to think about all that. Like this method, we didn't have to think about all that because the plus sign, and it's quite tricky, sometimes knowing where to put the plus sign and all that, especially when you're a beginner. So the way to like save this, right? Save the day is by putting like converting this into a string directly. So you could just put like the type, just like we did with the type conversion here. So you could do like a type conversion, changing this from an integer to a string directly in the text. But yeah, with, as I said, with F string formatting and with the other ways that we'll be seeing of formatting your 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 strings or embedding your variables into your sentences or into your text, you would not need to be doing all this with a plus sign. All right. So yeah, let's run this and see what happens. Yeah, now it gives you like the phrase again because we converted this into a string, so we didn't just leave it as an integer. Yeah, so that was it for this video. Great job, guys. If you did it to the end of this video, well, bravo, because you now know everything there is to know about variables in Python. When it comes to the formatting, there are other ways of formatting that we'll be looking at, but the best way to like actually formatting in Python is with the F strings. It's more readable, like you saw with the compared to the concatenation. So I would say take notes, continue coding, and the best way to learn anything is to practice. So don't be scared to practice. If you have any questions, feel free to like leave them in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to help you out and to see what we can do. So I'm trying to like build a community here for people that are trying to like learn programming, and beginners that are starting to get their feet into this world. And I am very excited for you guys. I am so happy for you guys. So I myself am learning. The more I bring these videos on this channel, the more I'm learning. So yeah, we're learning together and we're growing together, and that is the aim of this channel. So guys, till the next video, we'll continue the series of going deeper into all the topics that we touched on in the 1 hour intro video of Python that I published earlier. So guys, till next time, see you guys, and don't forget, continue coding and keep on practicing. I love you guys. Bye.